Good evening, Skyflight Stories. Goeienaand, Kaapse vlakte mense. Hoop het gaan goed saam julle. In the studio, I don't know if you guys remember a day or two ago, I said a story of a young man called Ganief. And the story went viral from his side and from our side as well. And there was a lot of positive stories, comments, and people feeling, that this young man is doing a lot. And he's, what do you have? And I have him in the studio tonight, and we are going to talk to him about his decision and his story to get more information on, what it is that he's doing. I think ons byna tyd nou wat ons jong mense, sorry om te sê, is lei. Ons jong mense maak excuses. And it's supposed to be wees nie. We are, none of us started out with the best paying jobs. We started at the bottom, most of us, and we worked our way up. And I think that is something that we want to talk tonight about and encourage our young people. It doesn't matter where you start, which job you have, as long as you start and you get yourself into the market. So in the studio with me, with any further ado, I have Ganief. Ganief, welcome to Cape Fleet Stories.
Thank you for welcoming me today.
Thank you. Ganief, before we dig into your story, tell me more about yourself. Wie is Ganief? Waarvandaan is hy? Because, I've seen your story on Facebook, but I want to know more about this young man because you obviously had struggles and challenges as well growing up. So tell us more about yourself.
My name is Muhammad Ganief Cole. I'm from Capricorn.
Okay.
An area where not everyone is privileged. Not everyone has, let's say, a brick-built house.
Mm.
As for me, for instance, I don't live in a brick house. But that doesn't define who I am. I have 5 siblings. I'm the 4th child. My mom's health is not, let's just say it's not 100.
Yeah.
So for me, getting the job that I got, I did it for my mom.
Okay.
Because I want her to feel that there is a son that's caring for her, because my family is not perfect. I come from an area where these families has broken up, families that have kids on the road. And I'm going to say it out front, I have a brother that's a gangster. I have a brother that's into drugs. But I also have a sister that was into it.
Yeah.
I can proudly say that today she's been 5 years clean. She lives with her son and she's prospering in life.
Wow. Ganief, that is the story of a lot of young people on the Cape Flats. You live in an area where gangsterism is real, where, gangsters, they will come to and say, you need to join the gang, you need to be part of the gang. And because of that, because of your mother's situation, you had to look for a better alternative.
Yes.
Finding a job. At school, how was school for you? Because a lot of people think that, you maybe come from a posh school, from, one of the best schools. Just tell us more about your school background.
So my school background is, I attended Christway High School in Retreat. For me, school wasn't perfect.
Yeah.
I couldn't do physical sport. I couldn't play soccer with the boys because of my health condition.
Yeah.
I was born with a club foot.
Okay.
Where I had to undergo 6 to 7 surgeries on my foot for me to be able to walk.
Okay.
School was tough, but I made the best out of it. I couldn't do well in physical sport, but in my academics, I could show that I do have something.
Yeah. And you know what? What was your dreams growing up? You had the challenges, right? But what was your dream, Ganief, growing up? What did you want to become? Because I know when we grow up on the Cape Flats, when we're poor, when we do have dreams.
Yes.
But what was your dream? What kept you motivated? What kept you going? Because you just mentioned now you have family members in your family that are gangsters. I also had uncles and cousins, but something kept me going. What kept you going?
For me, it was, as a young boy, I was always into military stuff, policing, law enforcement, and I would often take a stick when I was small and I'll act as if it's a gun, or I'll play cops and robbers with my friends. For me, it was in my community, the gangsterism and stuff, seeing people struggle. So for me, it was, I wanted to be a policeman. I wanted to protect those who feel that they're not protected. So that kept me going, and till today, I can still say that dream, I'm gonna make true because it's a goal for me.
Wow. And you finished high school, right?
Yes.
You finished your matric. So like many of us, there's no money for us to go and study further. You had to make a decision to work. How long were you at home before you found a job?
I was at home for 6 months.
Okay.
After I matriculated and got my results, I was at home for 6 months.
Yeah.
And then I made a post on Facebook. One of my friends got shot. Was sitting on the corner and he got shot. About several, like let's say 7 of us, decided now we're gonna riot against this. Because why is it that sitting on the corner and you just being on the corner, your life gets taken away? So we decided now we're gonna like make a riot about this, and just to put it out there that we as colored people is tired of burying children. And then a lady reached out to me and told me that there's this motorbike program and all of that stuff, and I went for it. Unfortunately, it didn't work out so well. That's when I was introduced to the Itemba NPO. They trained us how to ride motorbikes, they trained us how to use the app, they trained us how to interact with certain individuals, customers or whatsoever. They gave me a bike.
Awesome.
To use for work. I could go home with the bike, I can go to work. In my spare time, they told me that if you have something to do, let's say I had to drop off something, then I have to ask, like I ask for permission. Then they'll allow me to do it, because you start building trust with the people that you work with. They start trusting you to, like, who's going to give you something of value to take home. And they don't know your background, they don't know where you're from, but they're here to help you out. So for me, the Itemba NPO actually made me the person that I am today.
Wow. And that's a big shout out to the Itemba NPO, because you guys gave this young man, the opportunity to dream. And look where he's sitting now. Tell me, when you think about this job, right? Driving, a lot of young people don't want to do jobs like this. They want to come out of school, have a quiet job. They want to have a perfect job. This is only where you're starting. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years' time?
For me, in the next 5 years, actually, the reason I work is obviously for my mom and my family, but I am actually saving up to get my license for cars and stuff, because I need that for my application for the traffic department. So for me, I want to go into law enforcement. In the next 5 years, I want to be able to tell myself that 2, 3, 4 years of me driving motorbike, it paid off. I don't want to be known as he was just another driver. Someone he got the job and he got nowhere at the end. Because I know people has been driving for years, and they do it because they have a family to feed. Sometimes the opportunity for them to go further is not there. That's where, for me, the Itemba comes in. That's, for me, it's absolutely beautiful that what they do. We have drivers that have criminal records. We have drivers that did drugs before. We have drivers that comes out of chrysalis. So it's a variety of us, of different areas, not just surrounding Capricorn or Steenbok. So for me, I really want to be somewhere, and I'm going to make sure that I get into law enforcement.
And so I know JP Smith normally watches the guy of law enforcement. So if you guys have a position for him, that you can contact me, I'll give his number to you. So I'm also selling you now, because you know what, there's a possibility.
Thank you.
But this is what I want to ask you. There's a young man out there, similar situation. Maybe they are a gangster at the moment, right? Like you mentioned now that people can change. If you have to speak to this young man, he's living somewhere on the Cape Flats, he's a gangster, but you want to change his life, because nobody was born a gangster. You know your mother raised you to be in your brother. But there's obviously the decisions that we have to make. You chose this decision. And we're not saying that we're better than the next person. This is unfortunately the challenges. I have cousins we grew up in the same family with that makes the same mistakes. What would you tell this young person, how will you motivate him to leave gangsterism and to give them hope? Because remember, this is a story of hope. Your story was on Facebook. And you said something, you worked it out, you broke it down nicely, where you said you can earn this amount of money a week, what you can potentially earn a month. And I think our youngsters want to start with 50, 60,000 in a month. What would you give them advice, if you can give them advice, that young person advice to change his life and how to start, getting himself back into the system?
So it's never too late to change. Whether you of age or you already into a gangsterism phenomenon, let's say so. So for me, all I have to say to you is, if you have a goal, no matter your challenges, no matter your household, make sure you reach your goal. Because you have a mom, you have a father that wants to be proud of you. So don't go after the money, go after the experience. Because with you building experience, with experience comes opportunity. And without opportunity, you're not gonna have anything. So rather than waking up early in the morning to sit on the corner, get up, go look out there. There is jobs. Yes, it's difficult to find a job, but take whatever comes to you. Whatever opportunity comes, grab it with both hands. It's never too late for any one of us to change.
I agree with you. Ganief, tell us more. You mentioned something about your mom. You obviously love your mom very much. There is any man, like I lost my mom last year. It's not easy. And I can see the love when you speak about your mom. Just listening to it, what is it that your mom needs? Maybe there's somebody that can assist, because what is it? Tell us more about your mom. Just tell us more about her. So that maybe we don't know who's watching. Maybe there's somebody that, maybe just want to make it to or like something. Just tell them more about your mom. What's her name?
So my mom's name is Jacqueline Cole. She's actually a receiving clerk at Steenberg ShopRite.
Okay.
She's been working there for over 17 years now. My mom was recently diagnosed with diabetes. She have a pinched nerve on her spine. She have high blood pressure, and she have sugar. So my mom, sometimes the medical stuff that she needs, we can't afford.
Okay.
So she's under the hospital in Fallsburg, in Fishhoek, where they give her the medication, but sometimes the medication is not the right ones, because her body will react to it.
Okay.
So my mom, for me, my mom is my motivation. My mom comes from nothing and built a family that really adores her. She looked after 6 children.
Wow.
My mom, for me, is a hero. Because my mom was a single parent raising 6 children at that time. It wasn't easy for her. My mom would cry. Any human being with pressure, you'd break. So for me, my mom is she's the best.
Everything. And I think that is the story of many of our young people on the Cape Flats. We grow up in homes where the mother is the only one working. Unfortunately, that is, and that is, what has created a dysfunctional family. And it's difficult because your mom has to be the mother, she has to be the father, she has to work, she has to provide. I think that is one of our biggest challenges on the Cape Flats, everywhere, Menenberg, Nova Park. If there's something that you can say to men out there, because we as men, we need to take back our rightful place. We need to become providers.
Yes.
Our families are, in many cases, and maybe the viewers won't agree with me, some will maybe agree with me, but in many cases, our problem is that, fathers do not play the roles of fathers. And not all men, but there's good men as well. What would you want to tell the men out there? Because we need to change the situation.
Yes.
There can't be another boy growing up without a father.
Without a father.
What do you want to tell them, in?
For me, is just take responsibility for your action. You knew what you were getting yourself into. So why leave when the son is there, when the daughter is there? The trauma that they cause to the kids, they don't understand because they don't know what's going on in the child's life. So for me, just take responsibility. Be the bigger person and be like, no, I want to be in my child's life. I want to be something for my child, because every father wants to leave something. Like when he passes on, he wants to leave something for his daughter. Because I have people that I work with, and this guy is great. He has this daughter, and he looks after her so well, and I look up to him because I don't have a father. To see him care for us as much as he does, it's absolutely beautiful. So just take responsibility for your action. Even though you and the parent doesn't come along. Just be there for the child.
I just want to say a shout out to your colleagues. I don't know, they look like they're very supportive. Maybe you just want to mention their names and just send a shout out, because I can see when people are supporting you. And that is the most amazing thing. Even so, what you're going through, you have people that are supporting you. You maybe just want to mention their names and just send a shout out to them.
So they are managing volunteers for the program.
Okay.
So it's Carl Isaacs and Dejan Frischler.
Wow.
They the best. Like they support us with everything. They're there when we have breakdowns. They're there when anything goes wrong, they're there. They're there to advise you as well. So they're not just playing a role of a manager, but they come, let's say a father as well. Because most of us are youngsters in the program, and they just teach us ways of, let's say, communication, stuff that you need, stuff that you don't know before they'll teach you. Like Kyle Isaacs is a person that taught us how to ride motorbike.
Wow.
Dejan again, he teaches you how to use the app. Like they all have their own things that they teach us, and they don't know it, but we as college, we spoke already, and we were like, no, they are people that you can look up to because they come from nothing as well, and look where they are now.
Just coming back on that topic, support groups, how important is it for young people in our communities on the Cape Flats? Like, for instance, if the boy don't have a father, maybe the neighbor can be, like you say, the role model. Maybe the uncle can maybe be the role model. I mean, most gangsters are male gangsters.
Yes.
And that is the problem that we have. Most drug users are male drug users that we see. And you know, how do you feel? What do you think? Giving them support, giving our youngsters support, how can we get involved with somebody? If you can go back, like say if there was somebody in your life that could mentor you, maybe a friend or a neighbor, do you think things would have been better for you?
For me, if there was someone to guide me, of course my life would have been better. Because I would have known. Some of us as a young men, we have to experience stuff that we're not supposed to experience at that time. We have to do certain stuff at that time that a young boy shouldn't do. That's why you see it's children that's being dragged into gangsterism. So if there's a support group, anybody, like if it's your neighbor, your uncle, or let's say your older cousin, that's someone you're going to want to look up to. So if you look up to this person, you tell yourself, no, I want to be like him. So that motivates you to be a better person instead of falling into the hands of the streets, gangsterism, drugs. And that is a major problem in our communities. Because children get swallowed easily. Without guidance, you will get swallowed like in the Cape Flats. So for me, just people that need support. And whatever they need, it's never too late for you to ask. And there's nothing wrong with asking. If you don't know something, rather ask than keep your mouth and not know.
And you're so right. I think when we talk about support, it doesn't necessarily mean financial support. Maybe just that emotional support. We all make mistakes in life, and we learn from our mistakes. What if I teach somebody about my mistake that I've made? I will save that person from making a mistake, right? I just want to read some of the comments. Some people are sending messages here. It's awesome that the NPO is giving people a chance improving themselves. So proud of you, Ganief. That is from Teresa Southgate.
Thank you.
And then Ezrat Marit says here, great work, Ganief. Proud of you. And then Anthea Best Beer say, I hope boys and girls from Cape Flats see this. Good luck, young man. Share, people say, may our Lord bless your journey. Thanks, Stan. I think, Ganief, that your story went viral for a reason. And you need to continue with your story whenever you make progress, because you're still going to get very far. And I'll be very honest with you, I can see on your attitude, you are a young man that want to learn. You're a young man that are open to learn. And the fact that you are very humble, I can put my head on the block. You're going to be very successful. You just need to keep on, because there's bigger things for you I'm ahead of now. Last thing, the girls are asking, do you have a girlfriend? I don't know. I don't want to ask you that question. Sy moet eers 'n week in yourself opbou. But yeah, I want to ask on behalf of the girls, what's happening here?
I'm just going to say it's complicated.
It sounds like the song. I think your main thing is that it is now you want to be a law enforcement, so you're going to focus on that. So you're starting from driving a motorcycle, and I think it was Farzan that said you're working also towards buying your own bike.
Yes.
Is that your goal as well?
For me, saving up, getting your own stuff also. That's also a sign of independence.
Yeah.
But yet again, for me, I don't want to leave the program because they've been awesome to me.
Yeah.
They've helped me in ways I can't even explain.
Yeah.
So yes, I want my own bike. I want to have my own thing.
Yeah.
But it's just for me, for now, at least just for now, I'll stick with my program.
This program, can anybody join this program?
Anybody can. Male, female, different race, it doesn't matter. Because we don't put anybody aside.
Yeah, yeah.
The only thing that we ask from people that joins is that you have to be committed.
Yeah.
With commitment, a lot can happen. Build trust with your colleagues, and there won't be any problem. It's a beautiful program, I can say.
Yeah.
A lot of us have learned. Most of us on the road never knew how to ride motorbike. So that program gave us knowledge.
Yeah, yeah.
So
skill.
Anyone can.
But now isn't it strange to, you come home with the motorbike. Ek was nou also mense
Yes.
coming back with the motorbike. How was the people in the road, the neighbors, when they saw Ganief for the first time on the motorbike? It was probably for the youngsters, it was an accomplishment.
Yes.
Do you think that you've inspired others as well? In your road, in the community?
In my road, I was known as white. Everyone calls me white because I'm the light.
Yeah.
I'm very light.
Yeah.
So, and then this one day I took off my helmet. And then he said, oh, it's Ganief. I'm like, wow, you do this now, wow, you do that.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, anyone can do it.
Yeah.
So why not me?
Yeah.
So like, no, it's nice to see you work. It's nice to see that you're not sitting on corners.
Yeah.
There's this guy at the shop. He'll call me when I go to the shop and he'll tell me, why aren't you like the rest? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, no, but normally the guys sit here on the corner and they smoke. I'm like, that's not for me.
Yeah.
I have stuff to do in my time. I can't waste time on a corner.
Yeah.
And then this one guy that always used to smoke there, he was like, get me a job there. I also want to know how to drive. And I'm like, I'm not going to stop you. If you want to work with me, so be it. But you're going to have to be committed. I told him I don't want to see you on the corners anymore.
Yeah.
Today, I can proudly say that he is working.
Wow.
Not with me, but he's working as he was working at the pizza place.
Okay.
And he's a manager today of that place. He doesn't smoke anymore. And I never see him. So last night, I ran into him because I went to the shop again.
Yeah.
And he's like, I saw you on the TV. I'm like, yeah, I did an interview yesterday.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm proud of you and thank you for giving me that advice those years ago.
Yeah. And Ganief, it's quite big for our youngsters who sit on the corner. That is a groot ding, as a kinders wat bykom, 'n flitsie vir die kinders. That is something that really works on my nerves. Vir 'n 50 cent vir 'n toer. And that is, I think it's a curse that has been passed on from generation to generation. I think if we can fix that, I mean, you're sitting the whole day on a corner. You could have done something with yourself. You could have entered a program. I mean, many people don't know this, but there's free studying courses also available. Do you think that we are wasting our time on the street corners?
Most definitely. Most definitely. You wake up, let's say 10 for the latest. Then you go stand on the corner, ask people for 2 rands, ask this, ask that, till tonight. Then what do you do with the money?
Yeah.
You smoke it out. So why not use that time, prepare yourself a CV, or ask help. You're wasting precious time, and time is money. Let's just say time is money. Because in that period of time, like us as delivery drivers, we know from, let's say 8, depending on the store, let's say 8 till 5, you can easily get 25 to 30 orders.
Yeah.
That's 20 rand per order. So if you calculate that, that's money. That's almost, 600 rand for the day.
Yeah. That you make.
That you made for yourself. So you can proudly say, I didn't stand on the corner for this money.
Yeah.
I went to work for it.
Yeah.
So you deserve that money because you worked for it. You feel better when it's money that comes out of your own, like how can I say, your own effort.
Yeah.
So don't waste time on corners. Wasting precious time. And I don't think anyone wanna waste time, especially in the Cape Flats.
I agree with you. Nanto, you had a question earlier on that slots in with this one.
I actually want to change my question.
Okay, now you can change it.
My question is, so you deliver for what company do you deliver?
The ITEMA program has pick up and warm drop.
Okay.
Pick up delivers for Pick and Pay.
Okay, so that is my question actually. So
yes.
So the program is connected to Pick and Pay as well. So
yes.
So okay, so that's a very nice outreach thing that they're doing.
Yeah,
Nogal proud of them for doing that.
And I mean, it's a it is a good salary. It's not decent. It's a good salary, because if you go to a call center, you earn much less money. People pay 3,500, 4,000. So driving. But I'm not saying that it is a bad thing working in a call center. It depends also where your skills are. Some people are afraid to drive motorbike, so you can always work your way up.
Yes.
You know, and the more orders you do, the more you get, right?
Yes.
And then also, how do you feel that this, does this teach you discipline? Because you obviously have to be at a certain place at a certain time.
Yes.
Otherwise, you have an issue.
It teaches you discipline
Yeah.
and time management.
Yeah.
Communication as well. So you know the store is gonna go online at 8.
Yeah.
So you must make sure you're there. Whatever you do before that time, just make sure you're there before 8. And what the people expect from you is you're there at 8. You're supposed to be at 8. There's no excuse.
Yeah.
And leave when the store goes offline. So the expectancies of this, the discipline and everything, it teaches you that no matter who you are as a person, this job can actually discipline you in a way where you start respecting people.
Yeah.
You start seeing people in a different image. So for me, it's very disciplinary.
But it also prepares you, because you deal with nice customers, you deal with not so nice customers. I think your skills are actually improving, because you learn how to deal with customers.
Yes.
And any business, anything in life, even if you do go work for the city, as a law enforcement officer, it teaches you to get along with people, to understand people. So I think it's small beginnings, but you mustn't look at it as it that's small, because you are learning a lot. Being disciplined. And also I think one of the most important things is you're learning to be independent. You're learning how to work with money, because that's the thing in our community. Working with money. Jy weet as 'n laity skool klaar maak en ek kry 'n kwai job.
Yes.
What's the first thing that he buys? Is Jordans, is whatever is. There's nothing wrong with it. You spend a lot of money, and then also later on you start driving expensive cars.
Yes.
I know of this young man a few years ago, finished school, got a nice job in a call center. I think the first thing he did was to go buy a gold GTI. You see a salary. And I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying that we need to be disciplined, and we need to, know exactly how to be disciplined when it comes to money, because money can either make you or break you. So do the Temba also give you a bit of information or training on how to work with your money, how to work at the budget, and so on and so on?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
So when you start at the Temba as a driver, the first week they'll help you out with petrol until you get paid.
Okay.
So now in that period that time when you're not paid yet, you're only starting, you take note of how much petrol goes into the tank and how much data you need for the week. So that when you get paid, you know what percentage of that money is going to go to your bike and for the job. Yeah. And then the rest is for you. That's what the Temba teaches. It teaches you to be independent. Yes, they help you take the first step. Yeah. But after that, they teach you to be independent, to work with your money, calculate it properly. Wow. And all of that stuff.
And I think that is the main thing, is that it's the first time I hear of them, but I'm very impressed. I will go follow up. I will go find out more about them, because, I mean, this is something we need to probably promote all over the Cape Flats, because there's more Ganiefs.
Yes.
There's more Stanleys, there's more Nantles, there's more of the other gentlemen as well. And the only way how we can fight the things on the Cape Flats, the poverty, is to find jobs, to employ yourself, make yourself employable. Like you mentioned, your skills. They've given you a skill that nobody can take away. And even so, just think about it. If you become even a traffic cop, you have motorbike license.
Yes.
It's actually putting you one step ahead of you, or towards your goal. So not looking at it as a driver job, but looking at the bigger picture.
The bigger picture.
I can become a traffic cop with my own motorbike. Who knows, So is there any messages that you want to leave to the young men on the Cape Flats? If it is total light is what you hookers it. You were also what would your positive message be to these young men? I'm going to give over to you, and you inspire them. Whatever you want to say to them.
For me, is just get off that corner. You have a mom and a dad, grandma or grandpa to make proud. Don't waste precious time and get lost in it. Rather go out there, do something with yourself. Whether you start off small, it doesn't matter. It's about the learning process.
Yeah.
Life is about learning. Life is always going to be a lesson. If you don't learn from your mistakes, how else are you going to be a bigger person? So just go out there, explore, find out what the opportunities is out there. There's a lot of people that's willing to help, a lot of people that you don't know maybe that's willing to just take you in under the wing. So just go for it.
Yeah. Ganief, thank you so much. And we will make sure that we say this all over. This is a positive story. I would like to talk to you again in the future.
Yes, no problem.
Because we're going to follow you. We're going to track you. And I will be sending you a friend request because I need to follow up. Your story started. Your journey started. And I'm very excited to see where it's going to end. Not end, but where you're moving to.
Yes.
There's no end in growing.
Yes.
You're always going to evolve. You're always going to grow. Who knows? You might just be the next. You wanted to be a traffic cop, but you might just be inspector in a traffic department or something big. I think we need to tell the narrative and tell our youngsters to dream.
Yes.
We stopped dreaming because of gangsterism and drugs, and if we have given up on ourselves. Yes, we can blame the government to a certain extent.
I actually want to, while you're mentioning the government, we have politicians that is, though I support your ground work that you're doing in the communities, we have some politicians that divide Cape Town and say that Somalians is coming over and Zimbabweans are coming over. But the reality is our colored brother, most of them, not saying most of them, some of them are just lazy, man.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And they use excuses like this and that, whatever. But as this program, the last 30 minutes can show that there is programs, as in it mooi kyk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure as in nou reda gaat sit en kyk en gaan soek. Sy sal positive platforms kry wat vir jou kan help, man.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I really, from my side, I really want to say Nike Kwai, man.
Yeah.
Thank
It is really something, especially for the program as well.
Yes.
It's a befokte initiative. Maar we nogal sulke dinge support.
Ek het baie so vloek op my sou nie, man.
Sorry, man. Sy sien ek vloek word gekleed, man.
But you are right. We make excuses.
Yes.
We make too much excuses. And because we make excuses now, we just stay there.
Yes.
You know what? You have young people on the Cape Flats that is almost 40, 50 years old that has never worked one day in their life because they have been waiting for handouts.
Yes.
Like I said to you, gee die man 'n visstok, laat jy vis vang. Somebody gave you a motorbike and license. Now you're providing for yourself. You're making yourself independent.
Yes.
So I agree with Nantel, and we need to stop making excuses. We all started somewhere, and we all made a success of it, and we're still making a success. I think the real heroes on the Cape Flats is not the gangsters with the money. It's the guys like yourself and that gentleman over here that wake up every morning to go and work for their family. That is the real heroes. So I salute you. Thank you for coming onto the show.
No problem.
And I will definitely share this all over. Guys, please share this live all over. Because if we can maybe get a few youngsters that can change their perception of working and even contact their Itemba NPO, there might be an opportunity for you as well. We need to stop making excuses. We need to live life. Live life to its fullest. We are becoming a nation on the Cape Flats that is dependent on handouts, and we need to change that. We need to become independent, and once we become independent, we can look after our families, fix the dysfunctional families, as we mentioned earlier on. Become more active in your family, become a role model to the young man that is in your community. Just by greeting him and being nice to him and encouraging him or her, you can make a big difference. So thank you from my side. Thank you, Ganief. Thank you, everybody that came in. And please do share this live far and wide, that people see that there is still hope for each and everyone on the Cape Flats out there. This is your uncle. I'm signing out. Thanks.